Come on in.
To the room. Oh no, we gonna steal Miss Tabs. Auntie Tab. I be singing with her though. That's it. Remind me of my grandma church.
Yeah, Auntie Tab.
She be like, oh, come on in to the room.
I can't remember. Can you see that? I don't know what
I see that you shared it.
Okay, you can see that.
It's showing that you shared it, yeah.
Okay.
What's up, people? Happy Tuesday. Joining y'all a little early today. I know some of y'all supposed to be working.
I felt like a judgment.
I think we all supposed to be doing something.
They all supposed to be doing something other than in the middle of the day on a Tuesday. It ain't even Thursday or Friday.
Well, you know, the finale happened Sunday, so you know we have to get on in there while the getting's good. Hi, Tiffany.
Okay, so
while the getting's good.
We didn't discuss how we were going to talk about this.
We're just going to talk. I'm sure a lot of people got stuff to say too.
Okay, so yeah.
We're trying to incorporate.
Everybody that has something to say it. Make sure you.
Right. They will. I know Brittany. Brittany's already talking about she on break. Girl, you ain't on no break.
All right. I say we go ahead and get started.
All righty then.
All right. So we are here to discuss the season finale of season 4 of Insecure. Before we discuss the finale, what did you think about this season in its entirety?
I enjoyed it. When the way it started off, I was like, "Uh-oh, where are we going with this?" But I enjoyed it. I think I think Insecure does a good job of showing growth in people and then lack of growth. You know, just being an adult and trying to navigate through the world as an adult and those ups and downs that you face. So overall, I enjoyed the whole season. I thought it was really good.
It's like I think because it's people that look like us in our demographic going through the things we're going through, it's almost like you're a fly on the wall. And so, and I know between you and I, we will see ourselves in certain moments like, oh, wait, was I like that? Or, was I the Miley yesterday?
Right.
Kind of thing. So it's been cool. I think this season, as far as the actual episodes, some episodes left me feeling kind of like, I wish we did something else with that time. Like,
Right.
But I think in the early seasons, one, we always wanted them to be longer than 30 minutes. But I think in the early seasons, they kind of gave us so much more each episode that this season, I felt like they were holding back each episode to me. Or maybe we've grown that much more attached and want them even more.
So April says, I loved it. It started off a little slow. I agree compared to the other seasons. But once it developed, you could tell that this was more of a complex season, really digging into the emotions of each character. That was true. It did start slow for me too. I was like, wait a minute. And then, it got through. I don't know. I guess the Molly and Issa beef was the main thing of it.
Right.
And
I think the other thing about this season is we had waited 2 seasons to get to it.
That's true.
And so we were needing our Insecure and had to wait an extra year to get to it. Okay, so I guess we just start with the finale, and then I'm sure from the finale it will cause us to talk about stuff throughout the season.
Okay, so finale. My first thoughts on the finale were, okay, cool. Because, I went into the finale saying I didn't want Issa and Lawrence to be together.
Now, why didn't you want Issa and Lawrence to be together?
Just the TV person in me is like, that's going to ruin that storyline. Because you want to see the drama. You want to see the back and forth. Well, I do. I enjoy drama. When they got together.
Attached to trauma and drama, y'all.
When they got together for that one night, I was like, cool, one night stand, we're good. Let's move on. I think a lot of people got attached to the fact that they might get back together. So I think it was the episode, the episode before the last one, when they were like booed up, and I'm like, wait, what did we miss? Because I thought it was just a one night stand. So that bothered me that they were together.
It could be a one night stand. They knew each other, so I don't think it could qualify.
Okay, well, I mean, I thought it was just a one time back. What you call it?
It felt like closure. When they had that night where they just both said everything they needed and wanted to say, and then she said, "I don't want to go," and he, you're like, okay, cool. When she walked home, it was like, cool. They didn't have to get back together for either one of us. It was like they had that moment to move forward.
Yeah. And
so when they were more booed up this go around than we ever saw them be booed up by the time we came into their 5-year relationship.
It actually made me uncomfortable a bit to watch. I'm like, what is this? What is going on here?
By the time we met them, they were kind of already on the downside of their relationship. So maybe they started out like that, or maybe the time before made them appreciate each other more. That when they reconnected, it was like, oh, we're gonna be in love.
Right.
But,
go ahead.
I felt like, I felt like we all kind of thought we knew what the season finale was gonna be. It wasn't like a real. I mean, once we saw Condola kept calling him that night and kept wanting to see him and talk, I think everybody
Condola.
Like, oh Lord, this girl's gonna be pregnant, And so by the time they got to that, it was somewhat anticlimactic for most of us, but it's still, you had your heart drop because it was like, and I was thinking about, so that's the end of the show, right? Condola was pregnant. Issa kind of seems like she really ain't gonna be okay with it. Now that was surprising to me in a way, and then it wasn't. I think the initial reaction for anybody would be, what y'all gonna try to make this work now since y'all got a baby and all this kind of stuff. And I guess crazy enough to say I've been in a similar situation before. I think the initial hurt is what I would feel, the initial hurt of like, what? Because you've been with this person so long, you probably wanted to have their first baby and all this stuff. But beyond that, I think him having somebody else pregnant is different because they were broken up. You knew he was dating her. You actually loved her too. Versus cheated on me with this skank and got her pregnant. You know what I'm saying?
There's a different circumstance here.
Yeah, I feel like the whole thing is a different circumstance.
It's difficult still.
Hurt to So
it's difficult still, but
I wouldn't break up if I was Issa.
Oh, really?
Okay.
I don't know that I would either. Crystal says this was one of the best seasons. There was a lot of character development and growth from the main characters. I saw some development. I think Issa did grow this season, grow into her own independence. Aside from the relationship angle, just, finding out what she wanted to do. When she started off, she hated her job. So she left and she found her way through that professional thing and doing things that she wanted to do. So I felt like she did grow.
I felt Lawrence grew because the season before, just out there in the streets, and he really matured this season.
Yeah.
Those were two characters I think we saw growth. I felt like Molly regressed. I felt like
it felt like it.
Steps back in.
It felt like it
in personality or character development.
It felt like it. Okay, Tiffany says I felt blindsided by the Issa and Molly beef.
I didn't. I felt like we had been inkling of it for a couple of seasons. I think they had always had these little small tiffs or disagreements, but I like the way us being the fly on the wall, you can see each of them in their own world. So whether it was saying, hey, I'm not coming for Thanksgiving, or wanting to talk and being busy, that you saw what the other one was feeling, even though they never communicated those feelings to each other. So I wasn't blindsided. Right. Like, oh yeah, this is about to implode for sure.
I wasn't blindsided either.
How did you feel about them meeting up back at the end once both their relationships ended?
Well, we don't know that Molly. Did we see the completion of Molly's relationship ending? I mean, I know they were having a conversation.
You don't think they broke up?
We didn't. That wasn't shown on air,
right? But I'm saying you don't think they broke up.
Yeah, I think they led you to believe that, but I'm not really ready to say that they did.
Andrew was so tired of Molly.
However, I just want to say Tiffany wants everybody to know F Condola. Okay.
I don't mean it that much because she actually called her Condola. She changed her name to
Condoleezza. I think it's Condola though. Isn't that right now? Because I know we keep saying Condola, but I think it's Condola.
I don't know. Look, I don't.
Anyway.
But
no. Okay, so
I thought Andrew wanted to break up with her a long time ago.
Oh yeah, I did think that, but like I said, I didn't see that was I don't know. I just didn't put it. I didn't assume that. Put it like that. But she was in a bad place, and I knew once she got in a bad place and she had no one else to turn to, including Andrew, that she was going to call Issa. Saw that a long time ago. Knew it was happening.
Well, I guess I didn't even get that far in the storyline because I was thinking, okay, is Issa going to go to San Francisco? Are they going to, so I really wasn't thinking so much about the Issa and Molly storyline because I felt like they had so many times through the show, which kind of was a little exhausting to me. Of, okay, are we going to talk? We're not going to talk. Okay, we're going to be cool. We're not going to be cool. Okay, let's try to be cool again. We're not going to where I was just like, I'm okay with not mending that this season just because we tried about 18 times, So I'm surprised that they did end it with them reconnecting, but it was also after both of them had gone through, well, I don't think Molly went through a heartbreak, but that Issa went through a heartbreak. I think Molly didn't like Andrew anyway. She just liked having somebody there.
Well, you could tell the way they had that conversation in the end. He was like, well, what are you fighting for? What are you here for? And she couldn't even answer it.
She was like, my plus one.
Okay, Erica says Molly should have continued with therapy. She didn't grow from the sessions. She went backwards. I think she did.
Molly is so frustrating to watch. She's very frustrating to watch because I don't know if it's her pride or if she is just as Crystal says, selfish or that self-absorbed, that she really, 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 I think all of us, especially when you're older and single, you kind of are set in your ways. But to watch Molly, and that's why I said sometimes you see reflections of yourself and you're like, wait, do I do that? Wait, do I do that? Or wait, is that a situation like that? Where I'm hypersensitive to not be Molly. I'm hypersensitive because watching her, she felt like even when she said the work thing, well, you were upset that I was working, so now bring it to my work stuff. Like that's not actually a compromise. The compromise is you stop working when we hang out. Not that now you take me to work with you. That ain't hot.
Brittany says Molly has been working on herself. Issa has been a hot mess seasons 1 through 3, and nobody cares.
I feel like Brittany is a major Molly sympathizer.
She is.
I'm watching Brittany's post, and she is a Molly.
Which is weird because normally I think of people who take up for Molly act like Molly, and I don't think Brittany acts like Molly. She doesn't give off Molly vibes to me. I have never seen.
Okay,
Molly
I don't think Issa has been a hot mess though.
Explain that, Brittany. What do you mean she's been a hot mess?
Yeah, let me tell you. I think everything that Issa was going through was just growing up. So being at a job with no real advancement that she didn't love, all of us have been there. That don't mean you're a hot mess. It's just, am I going to go do something else? Am I going to need a safety net even though I hate it? I think in a relationship, she was there for 5 years and they were on a downturn. And you see him going to work every day and I hate the job I'm going to. You tell me
I got to do something.
So
I gotta do something.
Everything that she went through was situational. She was in bad situations. I don't think it was she was this. And that's the difference with Molly. Molly so-called has a great job, great apartment, security, financially, and all that. And she still can't be happy. And even all through the mess
that's true.
Issa still had some kind of joy and light to her, even though most of her stuff wasn't working out.
Molly doesn't seem to have found her happiness yet, in spite of all her success.
She hadn't the inside job that she needs to do.
Right, and it has nothing to do with the job. It has nothing to do with the man. It's all about her, not her family, anybody else but her.
And that's what I'm saying. I feel like Issa's happiness is inside. All the other stuff around her don't be working out, but she still is a joyful person.
Yeah, that's another thing I was saying about. I feel like Molly was emotionally dependent on Issa. So when Issa didn't need that emotional support from her, it was like it messed Molly up more than it messed Issa up. I felt
so that's why she had a problem with the condola coming and hanging out and all that.
Adrian says Molly can kick rocks.
I'm not a Molly girl. I'm not a Molly girl.
Here's a She could be selfish, but like a friend mentioned to me, she is a product of how she grew up. She's the oldest. She's the only girl. No excuses, but everyone is how they are for a reason. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I agree. Everybody's who they are for a reason.
You know what I want to say.
She's only been figuring it out, but everyone else has been figuring it out. Molly hasn't found her happiness. Bingo, that's it. Why can't we let her figure that out? Yeah, she does need time to figure that out. I get that.
Right, but I'm saying, here's the problem. I got the first part of, yes, everybody is how they are for a reason. That does not excuse bad behavior.
Mm-hmm.
So we all got a story. That don't mean you can just go around and start slapping people because that's how you grew up. You know? So yes, we are all the sum of our parts. You still are responsible for your behavior.
Yeah.
And then as far as Molly finding her happiness, the issue Molly is having in finding her happiness is she blames everybody outside of her for it. And so that's why she's going to always have that struggle, because she thinks it's that person's fault that she's upset. She thinks it's that person's fault. It's the towel lady at the hotel's fault. It's Andrew's brother. It's Issa. It's Andrew. You know, it's the people at work. It's everybody else's fault why she has a problem. And she doesn't. And she's the common denominator in all of those situations.
Okay, Molly.
I'm just saying.
I think the hurt and disappointment from the past, hurt people. The storyline needs to be developed more. Yeah, hurt people do hurt people. Like I said, I mean, even with her dad and getting upset with him and not wanting to talk to him, and I'm like, I get it, but if your mom's over it, you're gonna have to find a way to just get through that. And I think she eventually did, but it's just
but that's what I'm saying. She gets upset, and her therapist said that when she does get upset with somebody, she puts it all on them to fix it for her. It's like you're gonna forgive somebody and be okay. They're not gonna be able to go inside your heart and spirit and make you okay with a situation. And because she is not doing the inside work, it's like, you know, happiness is an inside job. It's everybody else's fault. And not saying that everybody didn't have a part in whatever the disagreement or the problem was, but she feels like, well, they didn't call me, well, they didn't say nothing to me, or they didn't do this. And it's like, well, you played a part in it too.
Right.
I just think Molly is very underdeveloped emotionally. I could not be friends with Molly because I would be too honest with her all the time, and so she wouldn't even want to talk to me no more.
She wouldn't want to hang around you, yeah.
She wouldn't want to be around me because I would say, "Girl, you notice you have a problem with everybody," and then she's gonna go off on me, and that's why Andrew ain't never said nothing to her about what's been bothering him for a long time. Because as soon as he says something, it's and he's seen how she reacts to everything with a hair trigger, and then she don't want to talk to you no more. And he's, you know, so it's like, I'm trying to be with you, and it's something we probably should talk about. But I don't feel like doing that today. So by the time he said something, and she was like, "Oh yeah, I'm cool today. Everything's better." He's like, "Yeah, bro, I'm good."
I just didn't like the way Molly treated Issa behind her back. And then we're privy to seeing all that. That's not something we normally see in life. We don't see our friends and the conversations they have when we're not around. So I understand that. I do get that. But like when they were driving to Issa's first event in her yard, and she was like, "Well, this might be a little ghetto." That's not the word she said, but it was what she insinuated. I'm like, this is your girl. Like, you're supposed to support her.
Well, and that's the thing. When you saw what the other one was saying about the other one, Issa was more hurt that Molly wasn't her friend, or that they wouldn't click. You know how the season started, I don't really mess with her no more. But when you saw what Molly was saying about Issa, it was very hurtful. Like, very dismissive. Like, okay, well then this girl don't need to be your friend if that's how you talk about it. You disagree and not cool. And you still not be tearing her down and talking.
I'm just not gonna be friends with somebody who says stuff like you run into something, like you were running to a job or something. Like that's some you hate me. You don't like me.
Right. But I also feel like that turned Andrew off too. Because when Andrew helped her with that concert, Andrew know he didn't tell Molly that he got that for the show. So I felt like that was an Andrew conversation. She should have been mad at Andrew because she had been talking time about the relationship between her and Issa not working out well. He could have said, "Oh yeah, I got Vince Staples for her show," or and the fact that he didn't say nothing and they was at the whole show and he still wasn't going to say nothing until the guy said, "Hey, thank you." You know, so I think it turned him off how Molly was reacting to that disagreement.
Yeah. Okay, Chuck says, "Are female friendships really that fragile? Because I don't talk to some of my boys for months and we pick right back up." Okay,
can I take that?
Yeah, go ahead.
I have most of my girlfriends I don't talk to for months and we pick back up. So I don't think that's the question. Is when you have a disagreement or you are on different pages. I feel like their issue was different pages. It wasn't just a disagreement. And so sometimes when you have in intimate friendships, like they're best friends and talk and hang out all the time, inevitably you're going to start growing up in different ways. You're going to have different friends. You're going to have relationships that your girlfriend might not approve of and all that. You still have to respect your friend enough to back up and just say, "Well, girl, this is how I feel." And just not be mad. I mean, let people do what they're going to do. But she got mad because she saw her talking to Lawrence outside. You know, like she takes everything so personally.
Right.
And I know for a fact, last week you and I went to lunch and I told you I invited somebody else. And you said, okay, Issa. You there, and you weren't hurt by it.
Yeah, right.
So the fact that Molly got so bent out just because this other person is going to be here at lunch, y'all, it's not like Molly flew into town just to see Issa that day. And she brought somebody else in. Y'all talk and hang out all the time. So, okay, this girl's been here for 30 minutes.
It's okay. Now wait, because Issa definitely called Nathan talking about I don't F with Molly no more. She was wrong.
No, but see, I don't think that's wrong. She didn't say nothing bad about Molly.
Yeah, she didn't say Molly was stuck up and she needed to go find her some happiness and she needed, she didn't say all that.
You know what? I can say, I don't know how many times I've said to Robin today that she has compromised me and her friendship because she don't be texting me and calling me fast enough. So that ain't me talking trash about her. That's saying what's up. So I feel like her saying she don't help with Molly wasn't her saying nothing negative about Molly.
Right.
Status of their relationship. But let me go back to Chuck. I don't think female relationships are that fragile. I think Molly is that fragile. Who's next? Who's next?
I had skipped some names. Condola. Somebody said they call her, Tiandra said she calls her communion. Somebody else said, Latoya said, I call her canola oil. I've seen Condoleezza. I've seen, why y'all don't call the lady by her real name?
I don't know why Brittany have so much grace for Molly. I don't
She said, y'all don't have no grace.
Hashtag I believe in Molly.
I don't know.
You know why?
I don't know.
The main problem I have with Molly is she too old to be acting like that.
I know. That's the whole thing. That was the whole thing about their beef this season. I'm like, there's no way in my now, I'm 30-something years old. I can't have friendships like that. It take, if you're not adding nothing to me and we pit tit for tat and all that kind of stuff.
I've had a Molly friendship before. I don't have it now, but while I had it, that was my best friend. And even though it was tiring and exhausting, I always had to defend my part of our friendship to her. Once that friendship was over, I realized, okay, that probably wasn't healthy the whole time. So by the time it really starts feeling like it's toxic and draining you, and you keep running back saying, but girl, I'm your friend. Why are you saying that? Why do you feel that way? At this stage, I'm not going to do that. Now, I also think both of them have, between Issa and Molly, they have poor communication skills. So I think both of them don't say what they need to say, when they need to say it. And when they do say something, they usually are kind of putting up a wall. So even when they were at Andrew's place and Molly sent the text to Issa by mistake, when they went outside, first of all, saying, see, I'm trying, I didn't think that was that bad.
It wasn't. I thought that was poor writing more than their poor act. I mean, not acting, but I thought they should have written something else. Like, this is still in my house, and she won't leave, and I'm trying.
And that's good. I want her to try.
Yeah.
And then even when they walked outside, then it was like, yeah, okay, fine. Well, we just agreed to, okay, fine. Everything is a defense, and it's like, okay, y'all ain't never having a real conversation to try to squash it.
As an adult, you have to deal with your stuff. Happiness is an inside job, always.
Listen, that is the most adult thing you can do in this world.
I agree.
Because it's not easy, it ain't sexy, and you're not always going to be the hero in your own story. You have to say, okay. And you and I had this conversation yesterday about something else. I've gotten old enough and grown enough that I actually hope that a bad situation could be my fault. Because I can only control my part. So if it's really my bad, hey, I can apologize. Hey, I can call you first. I can do all that. But if it is not my bad,
you don't really have nothing to do.
Call me and talk to me about that.
Yeah. I don't understand the hate for Condola. What exactly did she do wrong? I don't hate Condola. I don't think she did anything wrong.
I don't hate her, but I can tell you what she did wrong.
What she do wrong?
She was with our man.
She what?
Was with our man.
Who's our man? Lawrence
is all of our man. Lawrence is all of our ex-boyfriends. I feel like from season 1, regardless of who you like or identify most with, you kind of just are the Issa character because she drives the show.
Right.
With my man, and Condola's great. You saw they was hanging out. She's professional. She's trying to dress like Condola. But I hate her because, She with my man.
I don't hate Condola.
I don't hate her, but that's what wrong. That's
what
she showed up.
She showed up, yeah. Because I don't think, I mean, her being pregnant has nothing to do with Issa. Like, I mean, she was with Lawrence at the time when she got pregnant, so that's not her fault. I mean, I don't know.
Well,
how can you blame her for that?
You said what's not whose fault? Getting pregnant?
I mean, what I'm saying, the circumstance about being pregnant. I'm not talking about the pregnancy itself. I'm saying, like, she put herself in a position to be pregnant. She was sleeping with her.
And let me say this as an adult. Now, I don't want to go into much into.
No, I'm not talking about. I know you don't. You have sex at 30 something and you get pregnant. It's probably your fault. Yes, I get that.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying something different than what you're saying. I'm saying something different than what you're saying. I'm saying that at that age, on both of their parts, whether they wanted a baby or not, they should have an understanding of how babies are made. And so even in the context of saying we were careful, there's still science involved in how
I'm not talking about the science about her getting pregnant. I'm talking about the circumstance.
I'm not saying that as opposite to what you're saying. I'm saying something different.
Right. It wasn't like she was sleeping with Issa's man at the time and got pregnant. You know what I mean? It was like the circumstance.
Issa likes the girl. Issa knew they were together. You know, so I feel like the parameters of her getting pregnant aren't that devastating outside of the initial news of it. But I mean, hey, Condola had that baby. You stay with Lawrence. Y'all had a baby.
Somebody said she didn't want a relationship 5 minutes ago, but now she wants a baby. Tiffany said that. I mean, some people want children and don't want a relationship. I don't hate her for that. I'm sorry.
I think she still don't want a relationship.
She probably doesn't.
I mean, that's what she said. I mean, listen, I think a lot of women, particularly older women, want the baby more than the relationship anyway. So I think she did not want a relationship. And I think she just was giving him a courtesy call of, hey, I'm going to be raising your baby.
And because she kind of gave him an out too. She said you can be as involved or not involved.
Exactly. Because think about it. She could have come to him like, hey, we need to try to work this out to be together because I'm pregnant.
She did.
That wasn't it. It was like, hey, I'm pregnant. You decide what you want to do about that, but I'm keeping the baby and we'll be over here.
Yeah. Honestly, other than ghosting Issa on the block party, I think she was a good person. I like Condola.
Yeah, I wouldn't even say that she ghosted her. I think that was just an emotional thing that her and Lawrence had broke up and she didn't know if she had, I think it was just weirdness that she would not have come to that. I don't think she ghosted her. Now, I felt like Lawrence ghosted her on the block party, even though they weren't back together then.
Let's note how they are all not the best friends because Tiff was struggling through PPD for weeks and they didn't see one sign. And that's funny because we did see the signs. I don't know. I mean, I guess her husband should been the first person to
think about the fact that Tiffany had a different set of friends that were mommies. So maybe those mommies, these are the single girls that ain't had babies and they still trying to kick it. So they wouldn't necessarily know the signs of postpartum.
She was trying,
she was her hair messed up or whatever, but why would they know about postpartum?
She was showing signs of postpartum before the baby ever came too. You remember that conversation they had at the end of this was 2 years ago, obviously. The concert when they were in the car, and she started crying and said,
"Well, I don't know if that was postpartum. I think it was
just talking.
I think it's gonna be, hey, I ain't gonna be able to kick it with y'all like I used to." So I don't think that was on them to be able to recognize the signs.
AJ said, "I don't see how you accidentally get pregnant though." We agree. I don't think it's an accident.
Yeah, I mean, at a certain age, I think you can accidentally get pregnant when you're younger. When you older.
Yeah, exactly. And the same thing, pregnancy at 30 plus is a decision, not a mistake.
Yeah.
Okay, so Adrian says she thinks that Condola got pregnant on purpose. Maybe she wanted that baby. So when she was married, remind me, she was married and she didn't want the marriage. Did they talk about children or something? Or did they mention
I feel like somebody mentioned that somebody wanted kids and maybe the dude wanted kids and she didn't. And then when he left or she left or whatever, and remember the Thanksgiving thing? And that's when he found out she really wasn't trying to be booed up. Whoever that little friend was and was like, oh yeah, she like you because y'all just kicking it, Which the Thanksgiving dinner he invited himself to.
Right. He did invite himself.
I don't know. I'm thinking I don't think she would have gotten pregnant on purpose by him.
She said she didn't keep the baby the first time with Mark. Was Mark the ex-husband?
Yeah. She did say this time I want to keep it. And that did allude to
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I missed that. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that whole storyline. I know that's what, like you said, he's our man. I guess I didn't really see Lawrence as my man, but I guess he's all of our men.
When he was after
now I did see some men, and if some men are watching now, I saw some men saying that the pregnancy with Condola is a payback for Issa cheating on Lawrence, which I don't see how you can compare the two. But I would love to see if somebody feels that way. I would love to hear why you feel that way.
You mean like just as far as karma in the universe?
Yeah. I saw a lot of Twitter chatter about that.
Oh, okay.
Now, that's what she gets because she cheated on Lawrence, and you know.
And you said men were saying that?
Yes, men were saying this. Well, man, women may feel the same way. I just saw men on my timeline, but
I feel like the whole cheating thing. I feel like she apologized. I feel like they broke up. I feel like he been living his best / worst life since. I feel like that's not really a conversation yet, anymore.
Or shouldn't be. Okay.
It can be a conversation.
Okay. Oh, I do have a question.
Okay.
I do have a question. So what about Issa and Nathan's friendship? What do we think about that? Is that healthy? Is that positive? Is that,
should they be trying to maintain a platonic friendship?
Right.
I think they shouldn't. I mean, I don't see that they add that much to each other's lives that they should just keep trying to be around each other's space. I mean, I think that's you setting yourself up for disaster. They obviously are still attracted to each other. So we ain't got to be kikiing just to try to be cool. I'm like, look, I'm back with old boy. You know, I was feeling you too. So I'm just going to need you to kind of not be around. Because I'm prone to cheat.
She's using him for her next event. You know that the business relationship.
So
is that fair?
Because that was another accusation against Issa is that she's a user.
Right. No, I didn't mean. Well, I guess so, maybe. But he does have something she needs or wants as far as the space for her next event. So does she keep him around just as friends for that? Is that worth keeping him around for?
I think you find another space. I don't know what kind of event she's trying to have in that little space anyway. I was like, did I miss what this was going to be? Is it like a paint party?
Yeah, they were talking about, I was like, at the barbershop?
what is this event you have in this little back room of the barbershop?
I had to put Val's comments up because she always says I never put hers up. Geez, they weren't even married when Issa cheated. Yeah, I mean, I get that.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like because she admitted it.
Oh, that's messed up, Val.
Since she owned up to it and apologized and they broke up, I feel like,
That's messed up. You're blaming his bipolarness on the fact that Issa doesn't need him in her life. He can't help it. He's the bipolar, and bipolar can be treated.
We just ain't been diagnosed yet. But
exactly. We all got a little something in us. So.
He has the advantage of the diagnosis and medication. The rest of us just out here trying to, buy some plants.
Exactly. Yeah, we just figure out how to deal with it. I love Nathan. We'll definitely be seeing him next season. I like him. I just don't like his voice. Somebody said his voice was sexy on Twitter the other day. I'm like,
you know what? I don't like his voice. He always just woke up.
It never picks up.
Yeah, he don't never pick up too. All right. The day
here's Ty, one of our loyal listeners for Oh No Girl Yes. 999,999,999 better ways to get even with Lisa cheating than having a baby with another woman you don't want to be with. Okay.
But here's the thing.
But does he need to get even, Ty? That's the thing. Can he let that go and be done?
That's what I'm saying. I don't think that had nothing to do with nothing. Those are two very unrelated events. That pregnancy and her cheating. Because like I said, a lot of times cheating, you get the payback on cheating a lot of times when either the person don't admit it or they don't apologize or there's no separation. By the time you're trying to get over it and you can't, then okay, you might be still having some payback in your spirit. But at the point that they've been apart for as long as they have, he been out there getting it in and getting it in. By the time they reconnected, it's like, okay, the slate is clean. I know I was tripping. I was going through depression. I realize now that I wasn't the dude that who I even was. Right. So I feel like that's totally unrelated.
Right, I agree.
Totally unrelated.
What type of joy do you get for rooting for Nathan? I don't get any.
What's wrong with Brittany in general?
Brittany said she had already said no to Nathan because it's not going to help their situation.
She's pro-Molly and anti-Nathan, and I'm trying to figure out what's really going on here.
Tiffany says so fine. I'm wondering if she's talking about Nathan here. Is Nathan fine?
She's talking about Nathan.
Is Nathan fine?
Okay, so I don't think Nathan and Issa need to try to be friends. I feel like the whole pregnancy thing does not have to be a deal breaker based on the scenario of how it happened.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Nathan is doing the work. He's getting his mental health together. Yeah.
Yeah. Anybody that do the work, then let me help you do it. You know, do the work.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Crystal says Nathan would be an issue in terms of their prior relationship. He still likes Issa and expressed that during the finale when he talked about his response to her and Lawrence getting back together. That's why I think they can't be friends. I don't think they can.
Right. It's just no point. And I mean, there's just no point in them trying to be friends. It's not like they was friends before and then they want to salvage it.
And I honestly think that's what Brittany was saying when she said, what type of joy do you get rooting for Nathan at this point? Because
I don't know. Don't put no more Brittany's comments up until she comes to the light on that Molly stuff. Just don't. I can't.
I got one more for her. Wait a minute. They'll get together, figure it out, and Molly will be right there, being the best friend ever, helping her figure out her new life as a stepmom. And then talking about, oh, she got that baby mama drama over there.
No, listen.
That's what Molly gonna do.
Let me say this really. Based on everything Molly has ever done in every season, Molly gonna talk trash about Issa. I can't believe you would stay with him. You go with mommy. I got something else to go do. I don't even hang out with Issa no more. She over there raising another woman's back. And so Brittany said Molly gonna be helping her figure out.
Be a stepmama. Help her be a stepmama.
I think at this point, I believe Brittany is trolling us. At this point, I believe Brittany is officially trolling us about Molly.
So do we want Issa? Do we see Issa and Molly reconciling and getting back together? Or are we gonna go through another season of the tit for tat?
Against it until Molly figures out how to be less selfish in general about everything. I mean, because it has shown up not just in her friendship with Issa, it shows up at work, it shows up in her relationships, it shows up at a hotel, it shows up with your boyfriend's brother, you know. Everything. And that's the other thing I want to say about Molly and her emotional immaturity. Most of the time, the stuff that she gets upset about, I can see why she got upset, but the way she handles it is so immature and counterproductive. So blowing up at the block party, that wasn't the time. I ain't mad at you being mad, but you ain't got to do that right now. Blowing up in the hotel, guess what? You needed your card. Okay, you know what we do when we think we've suffered a microaggression. We handle it, we talk trash about them back at the bar. I mean, keep it moving. You ruined a whole day in a vacation. Pop off.
Yeah. So Molly has some work to do before you agree with that.
Yeah, before I would say, I'm like, let Molly do her work. You can't help
Molly been doing work though. Molly the only one
figuring out.
Molly the only one they show in therapy and don't seem to be working, so it's not saying a lot for therapy. Like I
feel like her therapist always says what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I agree, but she don't listen. All right, Chuck is back. He said, should Lawrence really have really apologized for having a baby? They weren't together, and he has always been honest. I think he apologized for the circumstance, not necessarily the baby itself, because there's nothing to apologize there, but apologize for, hey, we're back together, and I'm sorry. I got us in.
Right. I mean, but you apologize to people that you didn't have nothing to do with what happened. If you hurt yourself, I'm like, girl, I'm so sorry. I didn't hurt you. You know, I think it was just a general, I'm sorry this is happening, not like I did something to be sorry for, but the circumstance is affecting her negatively. And it's affecting her negatively too.
Yeah. I miss Kelly in these last few episodes. I feel like you don't like her. You don't like her.
Kelly. She's my favorite person ever.
Yeah, I missed her.
I didn't like her in the finale.
Yeah.
I felt like all her lines, everything she said, it was like trying hard to Kelly in that moment.
Not to go dark, but the scene with the police officer was cringeworthy for me.
Yeah.
It was like I can't even, and I know they can't help. That's how it played out in the world and stuff like that. It was just
I felt like that was an irresponsible scene.
You think so?
I did.
Oh, well, I mean, hindsight, but I mean, when did they shoot this? A while ago, right?
But how long police brutality been a thing? Since 1865.
This is true.
So I just felt like it was an irresponsible scene. I felt like it was an attempt to be timely and edgy, and it wasn't appropriate, and it didn't match, and it didn't serve the story. And I didn't like none of it. I didn't like none of that. And then
I didn't like the whole searching for Tiffany period.
I felt like all of her moments were inappropriate. I feel like Kelly's a professional. She's an adult. Yeah, she's comic relief, but she's closer to Tiffany than the rest of them. She would not be keep trying to find her friend like that. She doesn't have that. Just I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. She's my favorite character. I did not like her in the finale.
Yeah, but I brought her up because I did miss her in some. I know she directed a couple or maybe written a couple.
She wrote my favorite episode. She wrote that episode.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I just missed her presence in the last few episodes of the season. I just felt like, I mean, I didn't miss Tiffany much, but I missed her.
Is that bad if we don't be missing Tiffany?
It's bad. Huh?
This is what you said. Look at Crystal's comment. Let me tell y'all.
Right here? Oh yeah, I said that. I said that out there.
Listen, Robin said that, and she said, "I'd rather them look for Latoya."
We still don't know what Latoya is. They haven't spent a whole 10 minutes.
Still ain't found
Tiffany. I mean, it was a detective thing too. They had to go to the restaurant. They had to do this. Had to look at the security camera. I'm like, are y'all serious? On the last episode.
The whole thing was weird. It felt very forced and it felt very contrived, and it was a part of the story that we really don't care that much about anyway.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like, I felt like, and I told you, I felt like for the season finale to be in 30 minutes, Prentice Penny wrote this episode, but it's like, okay, let's do Issa and Lawrence happy at the farmer's market. Okay, he got the job in San Francisco. Okay, Issa and Nathan and are they going to be friends? And then it was, the baby, and then it was Molly and the work thing, and then it was Molly getting broke up with. Now we looking for Tiffany, and then now Molly and I was just like, we ain't gotta do everything.
Yeah,
30 minutes. We gonna come back next week.
And I didn't mind the postpartum. Like I told you yesterday, I didn't mind that whole storyline, but it needed to be developed because it is a serious thing. It's stuff people go through, and if you never had a child before, I'm sure it's like really scary, and So I think it's a real topic.
Look, yes and no.
I think it's a real topic worthy of discussion, but don't just toss it in there as like just to keep her around.
Right, but yes and no. The reason why I think yes, it's an amazing topic, and it's something that Black women particularly probably don't get a whole lot of attention paid to. That's not the storyline that we know and that we watch. We went to her baby shower. That's our only connection to a pregnancy. Now, if one of the main characters that we've been riding with the whole time was going through that, then yes, give us a chance to understand postpartum character.
Right.
You can't do it with this person that don't be in most of the episodes.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. It just felt like it was thrown in. Let's love the storyline, but developed differently. Yeah, it needs to be developed differently. Let's see.
Yes, wait. So Tiffany says they could have just pulled the credit card statement.
I saw that. Yeah, like that would have seemed like the obvious thing. Where is she staying? Let's and
there was this thing of back to me not liking Kelly. I didn't know why it had to be that thing at the house when they were first at the house before they left to go look for her. How she was Gloria, and don't say this and don't. It was just like what? It was just
I don't know. I didn't even get emotional when they found Tiffany. I don't know why I was looking for a man. I was looking for a man in the hotel.
It's a serious topic, but we don't care enough about Tiffany for that to be what we was gonna care about that night.
Jasmine said, I think each one of the scenes leaves you guessing where things will be next season to draw the viewers back next season. Of course, that's why I said the whole Andrew thing. They didn't end.
Let me tell you, I have no interest in.
Who?
Seeing nothing else about Molly and Andrew.
Oh, okay. Well, you might.
I don't want to see Issa and Nathan keep trying to be friends before they sleep together.
I like Andrew's character.
They ain't got to put Tiffany them in it no more. I would rather, I would replace Tiffany and her husband with Chad and the woman they don't ever show that his fiance, they took him back.
They never showed him.
Let's
Tiffany said that she thought somebody was in the room too. I thought that would have made me a little bit more interested. Like, oh, Tiffany, get your girl back.
And that's a result of her postpartum depression that she didn't, found somebody else to play with or something. I don't know. I don't know. I wasn't feeling it.
Oh, wait a minute. Valerie said it just wasn't written right. And as a fellow producer, I agree. That writing was a little whatnot. Where's the light-skinned dude? He was hilarious. Oh, you talking about Chad?
Chad.
Probably.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'd rather have Chad be on the show for.
Let's see. They hinted at it at the block party when she wanted to stay and not go home to check on her baby, especially being a new mother. Husband left. She said, yeah. Well, you saw it a little bit.
Right. I feel like as a viewer, we could tell because of the way she was looking. And then, yes, at the block party, she's like, you know, and all that. Obviously, she was struggling with the new mommyhood.
Yeah. Ty says, I was surprised Derek didn't call any of his friends to help look for Tiffany. Yeah, because does he not have friends?
Well, his friends, I mean, the only friends we've ever seen him with is Lawrence.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That whole search was a little.
Yeah.
Left a lot to be decided.
Yeah.
I just don't. So,
I don't like Thug Yoda either.
You don't like Thug Yoda? He doesn't bother me. He's not around enough to bother me, I guess. I like his cameos.
They had more Kelly, more Chad. I mean, the thing is, it's not a sitcom.
Right.
Necessarily. It has a lot of comedic moments. They have a lot of dramatic moments and serious moments and all that. But I guess I would even like to see those funnier people in their real lives having their real moments, their dramatic moments as well, you know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I felt like there were several moments throughout this season where there were such random scenes, random moments, like Lawrence running into Molly and Andrew at the airport that time.
Didn't have to happen.
It was like, okay.
And then he called somebody, and when he was walking out, that whole thing was like, what's going on?
Yeah, he called, right. It was just like, okay.
It led you to believe that there was going to be a bigger story behind that, and nothing ever came of it.
It was very just random. Yeah. So it was a lot.
Issa Stacy is a 30-minute sitcom. It's not really. No, it's not a sitcom. It's a 30-minute show. 22 minutes, maybe 24 minutes. However long it runs. I'm okay with the 30 minutes, but they can take out some of the extra and develop more of the storylines that work.
Tiffany said we know he called Issa at the airport.
Oh, to meet up with her? I mean, I guess, but I mean, do we?
What I'm saying, we gotta have them waiting on their luggage, have him come down the escalator, have Molly say some random thing about the Full House or whatever, and then and then have him awkwardly stand there, and then
Yeah. Ashley says it was a nice contrast of finding Latoya versus the girls literally finding Tiffany. I just wish they would have found Latoya. I just wish they would have found her. I guess they were trying to parallel it. I don't know. That was too deep for me.
I just wasn't
too deep and not deep enough at the same time.
I wasn't feeling it. And that's what I'm saying. I think when I think about the show and I don't think of it as a sitcom, I felt like in the most serious part of looking for this woman who has disappeared and suffering from postpartum, that's when they tried to do all the jokes. Because even like Issa talking about what the Lyft ride cost, and you know what I'm saying? It was like they tried to, and then all the Kelly foolishness, and then it was like, why are we trying to put all the jokes into this part?
Yeah. Am I allowed to come back?
No, I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
I'll look at it before I put it on the screen.
I don't believe you. And you know what? I can see her bottom lip poked out when she wrote that too.
Excuse me. The next season should focus on Issa and Lawrence fleshing out the dynamics of their new relationship situation. I feel like it would be a fresh start for Issa. I don't think they're going to be together. I think Nathan's still going to be around. I'm not saying I want that to happen, but I think Nathan's still going to be around. I don't know. It's just like sitcoms. Sitcoms and shows, once the two main characters get together, that storyline just kind of falls apart.
Yeah, because the fun is will they, won't they? And so, and all its connections and all the almost connections and will they.
Historically,
and then once they get together.
Look at Dwayne and Whitley. Once they got together, the show was like, nobody cares.
Yeah, Max and Kyle tried to be in a relationship that everybody knew about. It was like.
Yeah. So.
That's a little reference. Max and Kyle.
So do you think they were nervous? That's why the jokes?
But nervous about what?
Trying to find Tiffany?
I
don't know. I feel like they were I don't know.
It just felt weird. It felt like, what the why? Now, what are we doing? But
any next season predictions, though? That was the second part of Crystal's comment.
Any next season prediction? Mm-hmm. I say that Issa, it's going to be a conversation between Issa and Condola.
Okay. Are they going to be friends?
I don't know. It's going to be I believe Condola is going to reach out to Issa. I don't know if Condola know that Lawrence and Issa have reconnected, even though he said that they had a conversation and it's over. I don't know if the conversation was, hey, I'm back with Issa and it's over, or hey, we're not going to be together, it's over. Because I thought it was really weird that she broke her neck to tell Nathan she was back with Lawrence, but they really wasn't back together. They just was kicking it. You know,
Yeah.
That was a little mature.
I got a comment from Brittany.
Okay.
Saw a bunch of people saying that Lawrence was irresponsible for the baby, but Issa has to remember she was just as irresponsible with TSA Bay. She just ended up finding the protection.
No, I think either one of them, based on what they showed in their off time from each other, could have been in that situation. Issa could have missed her period, and then she wouldn't have known who it was, whose baby it was, or then that would have been the conversation. So that's what I'm saying. I feel like the baby, to me, I feel like it is hard to find somebody you actually want to be with and love.
Mm-hmm.
A baby ain't the end of the world.
Mm-hmm.
So if this is still the same person I want to try to work it out with, and I love being with, and this we've reconnected, and we're both more mature, and we both have different views than we had, and why we broke up, a baby ain't gonna break us up. Now that's different than if we was together, you cheated on me, and you got this woman pregnant. Mm-hmm. That's totally different. Mm-hmm. You was dating this woman. I knew you was dating this woman. I liked the woman. Y'all got caught out there. I ain't about to miss my good blessing of my man because of no baby.
Bring that Issa,
and y'all can stop talking to me.
We didn't really talk about Condola as far, well, we did off camera, but would you be able to be friends with Condola, like how she was with her? Because I feel like I could have. But I know a lot of people, Molly didn't think they should have been, you know, because of the circumstances. Remember,
when they first met, she didn't know nothing about Lawrence.
Right, exactly.
So I felt like they already were building a friendship and didn't have nothing to do with Lawrence. However, I felt like Issa tried too hard and it became less of an authentic interaction because it was awkward. But she's awkward all the time, but she was then trying too hard. So at first, it was a genuine respect and wow, you could tell Issa really admired her and felt like I can learn a lot from her. And listen, Molly always dresses nice. It ain't never inspired Issa to dress nice, but when she met Condola, she started stepping up her game. And so it was something about Condola that Issa wanted to be, you know, that type woman, that type chick on the you know.
Started going to her restaurants and all that.
And so it was like, I like you. Okay, I like her vibe. Molly is high class too, but Issa was always in that relationship, the kid in the relationship, and the t-shirts and the sneakers. And if she dressed nice, she was borrowing Molly's clothes. Well, she actually went, and even if she kept the tag on the clothes, she went and bought clothes to hang out with Molly. So that was the reason why that was different. So I felt like they were going to be friends. It got weird with the Lawrence thing. It got weirder because then Issa was trying to overcompensate being cool with it. And then obviously once they broke up, it was like everybody broke up.
Mm-hmm.
Now you add a baby in. I say, listen, man, this could be the most awkward, heartbreaking thing, or it can be, wow, he's having a baby with a woman that I think is actually very fly and cool.
Yeah,
so, Brittany's still my man.
Another Brittany says Issa can be a dope stepmom and Lawrence can be an amazing dad.
Right. It ain't gonna be what anybody drew up in the books, but the fact that all of them could be, you know, she already liked this woman.
See, she says, I think the friendship between them, I thought you said you didn't think it was authentic, but they couldn't rise above the awkwardness. I agree.
Yeah,
it was authentic. They hit it off right away. Like,
and even with Molly, with herself, getting upset to me, oh, you're going to be friends with her. She didn't like, they was already building a friendship before Lawrence was even a conversation.
Right. I can't believe you're still talking to her.
Now, I mean, yeah.
I can't believe you're still talking to her. Like, what, how old are we? Are we fine?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. That's Molly's immaturity. That's, you know. Now, I'm not going to be trying to go be on no double dates with them and all that.
Right, yeah. Nobody said anything like that.
Go home and feel a certain kind of way or, you know, whatever. But I met this woman. I have no thoughts about Lawrence and this woman. She's cool. She's helping me. I aspire to be more like her vibe. And then in the world is that small that you end up dating my ex.
Yeah.
And guess what? In an awkward way, as much as it was weird, it's like, well, you know what? Lawrence is a good dude and she's a great woman. You know what? That would be great for me if I don't have no feelings involved.
Right.
So I think it could be a great situation in the fact that they all have a genuine friendship already. I believe.
I think so too. I think it's easier than
have my baby around that woman. I don't think people would be like,
they knew each other. Yeah.
I
think it would be easier said than done. I mean, easier than it seems.
I said I had a similar situation, and so it was the hurt at the point that something happened before you were with the person. It's not really much you can say or do about it. It really just comes down to, do you want to be with this person?
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's a lot. It can happen so many more times that somebody was in a relationship, they broke up 3-4 months ago, they met you, y'all in a new relationship, and the ex-girlfriend come and say, hey, I'm 5 months pregnant. So now y'all will break up?
Said, but remember when Issa reimagined her life with Lawrence, with her and Lawrence reconnecting, having a baby was one of her first visions. For him to have that elsewhere can be hard to stomach, and I totally agree. Yes, that's not something easy to get over.
Let me tell you a real life public situation. Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade. When she shared that she had all these fertility issues, and then they broke up, and then he got somebody else pregnant, and then they got back together and got married. That's a whole lot to reconcile. But at the same time, do you want to be with this person? Is this your life person? Then we're gonna have to figure it out. I'm gonna need you to. She gonna have to.
Everybody is crazy. So who are we?
Molly Grace. Listen, Brittany, the grace I give Molly is most of the time what she feels, I understand why she feels it.
She has a right to feel the way she feels.
Right. I think what she feels is what people would feel in certain situations. I feel like she handles them very immaturely and selfishly and inappropriate. That's the grace I give her.
Molly is so used to Issa asking for her opinion. Issa is actually trying to be an adult about things. Molly can be hella childish. It may be awkward.
Yeah.
The three, but it can work out.
I don't think Molly needs to be involved. If I decide to stay with Lawrence, I know that's going to compromise my new trying to rebuild a friendship with Molly because she's going to stay talking trash about the situation.
Brittany said Molly don't give out no grace. She surely does not.
Molly don't give nobody no grace.
Who has she given grace to, Brittany?
She didn't give it her daddy. She didn't give it to the lady at the hotel. She didn't give it to the brother. She didn't give it to Andrew. She didn't give it to the co-workers. She don't give nobody no grace.
So the long distance is going to put a lot of stress on the relationship. Lawrence may communicate more with his baby mother and tend to her needs rather than Issa's needs. Are we convinced that he's moving to San Francisco?
But I think Chuck's point is a good one that will probably be the storyline for next season. Mm-hmm. Him trying to make it work and him coming to town but being with the baby instead of Issa. Yeah, I can see that would be a storyline that would be able to, follow through. And her trying to act like she cool with it, but really getting her feelings hurt and seeing them together and saying, I really just can't do this. When I see y'all with y'all,
Mm-hmm. And not even her daddy. Yeah, Molly don't even get grace on her.
Nobody no grace, so Molly don't get no grace. That's the problem with Molly. She don't give nobody no grace, no room. And the problem with Molly and not giving anybody any room is that she be wrong.
Thank you, Brittany. Thank you. Nah, for real.
I mean, Molly be everybody.
It took us about an hour, but we got Brittany.
Okay. You can come back in. Oh, actually, that's a good point. She did open to Dro. Very good point. Very good point.
We didn't even bring up Dro. Now, what was that all about?
But you know what that is? Let me tell you. I think that's a very good point, Ashley. I don't even think that was grace she was giving to Dro. I think she wanted to be with Dro. And so that was just her hopefulness.
But what did she think she could get out of that? In the end. What was she going to get out of that in the end? In the end. What was the end goal? Being with Dro.
No, I don't think it was so much the end goal of being with Dro. She liked their interactions. They had been friends for years. She always probably had a crush on him. Now they added a physical component. So that's what she wanted, was him. I don't think it was that, I want him to be my man to the end.
But for her to say, and I'm not trying to
do it until she couldn't do it. She knew she was going to see him from day one.
I'm not trying to be too judgy because, we all judging or whatever. But for you to say you want this and then be with a married man, who's in an open relationship, so everybody cool with it apparently, but still, that shows that reeks of.
I agree, but let me be the honest friend. Molly be desperate for male.
I said it reeks of desperation. That's what I was saying.
But I'm saying a lot of us have dated and interacted with people that we wouldn't have on a good day if we had proper nutrition and rest
and water.
Hydrated. Okay.
Yeah. Right.
All of us
Yes.
have asked you before. I'm not saying with the married man, but dealing with somebody.
Right. No, I got you. I understand.
They had your phone number.
Sherry said, I'm a little ashamed. I thought she was about to say something. I'm a little ashamed that I've never watched the show. But now I know not to be like Molly. Do not be like Molly.
Listen, this is what's funny. This is what's funny because Robin and I were having a conversation yesterday. And as much as we were talking about, I was talking to you about something, you were getting annoyed with me talking to you about it. But I think you got more offended because I said, are you going to be a Molly?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I brought Damali up first. I was like, I told myself in the situation that I was trying to explain to her. I was like,
Molly. And then you told me the situation.
I said I don't want to be a Molly. And I got mad. I got mad at her. Don't call me Molly.
Because she told me the situation, and I said, friend, you are Molly. Look at her. Look at her mood changed. I told her yesterday, y'all, I said, friend, you Molly in this situation. It ain't pretty. It ain't pretty, but you are Molly right now.
Oh, y'all done brought up Dro, and people got stuff to say about Dro. Molly is emotionally stunning, and Dro is emotionally unavailable. She doesn't know how to do a relationship properly. We could talk about emotionally unavailable men and the women who date them. That can be a whole season worth of content.
Emotionally unavailable men?
And the women who date them, like such as myself sometimes. And
well, that's why I said, did you say emotionally unavailable men? It was like, where?
or physically unavailable men.
I think men just tend to be unavailable.
Yeah, come on now. You know, Dro was not in no open relationship. Those were lies. You know,
they never really told us. They never really told us that it wasn't. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They never told us.
They never addressed it.
The reason why it kind of felt like maybe it was is because a lot of times when his wife would call him, he would be with Molly.
And he would say it.
He would say it, or it'd be like late at night or in the morning. You know, it'd be times that he should have been with his wife.
Yeah.
In that time of day. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know.
Yeah.
They never really told us if it was truly open or if he was just open for him.
There's a lot of things they leave to your own assumption in that show.
But a lot of people said this was just like The Game Part 2 with Melanie and Derwin.
Yeah, I did see that. I did see a lot of people comparing the two. Some people said it wasn't comparing because I don't believe Derwin didn't cheat on Melanie with this girl, did he? Or was it when she got pregnant? Were they broken up? I felt like they were broken. They were broken up, and then Melanie and Derwin got back together, and then he found out she was pregnant. It was shortly after they got back together.
Well, then it's the same thing. Same thing.
Yeah, so that's rough. I actually felt bad for, probably worse for Melanie than I did for Issa. Maybe because I've seen it happen before, and I was expecting it this time.
Well, I think even though people don't like Condola, this is what's interesting. How many people don't like her? But everything they showed of her, she was a good, gracious, smart, giving, helpful, supportive person. So she never had any like poor character traits. It wasn't until Friendsgiving when you realize, okay, and then I still didn't. Well, I wasn't upset with her at Friendsgiving because it was just a conversation they hadn't had.
Yeah, and she was honest about it. It wasn't like it was like this big secret.
Right.
It started with him cheating with Drew, and then he got the other girl pregnant.
Oh, so he was just kind of wilding out.
Hey, and wasn't that Dro's wife that was the girl he was with? I can't think of it.
Dro's wife was the one that got pregnant, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, Dro got Tasha pregnant in real life.
Yeah. That's true. We didn't like Derwin's baby mama.
The person that plays Dro has a oopsie baby with the girl that played Tasha that Lawrence ended up getting with that worked at the bank.
Yeah, all of that. Well, yeah, we didn't like Derwin's baby mama. That's true.
Babies are a very common thing.
And we didn't like her because we feel like Issa and Lawrence belong together, period.
Right. She was with our man.
As Eunice said, she was with our man. And we just, can't get over that.
We liked her. And then when she was with our man, it's like, well, I can't say I don't like her now just because she's with my man. But this is weird. And then for the rest of us, we took over. We'll not like her for you.
Yeah. Candace was on the game.
Because nobody didn't not like her until Lawrence got introduced.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't like the ponytail she was wearing.
Yeah, that ponytail. I didn't think they did her hair. I'm talking about people's hair, but I didn't think they did her hair well the whole time. The last one was okay. It was cute. All right, y'all. Yeah, we didn't take notes. So,
anything else we need to go over? Any suggestions or something?
No. Yeah. Anything else we didn't mention because we didn't take any notes. We just talking.
Yeah, we just talking.
I think we covered everybody, all of the main characters.
I would say one of my favorite lines was from the episode before last when Issa told Nathan she was getting back with her ex, and he said, "Oh, buddy, you cheated on?" I was like, oh, "That was petty." Him.
My favorite episode, one of my favorite episodes. I don't know. I gotta think about it again, but my favorite episode was Molly's single episode with her going away on a trip, and I think it's because I've been stuck in the house, and I'm like, okay, I want to go on the trip. Yeah. So I did like that. I didn't like Issa's single episode. I thought they did a better job with Molly's.
You ain't gotta never show me nothing about Molly. Okay, actually, a lot of people are saying this, and I've seen online that she wasn't even sure about inviting Lawrence to Friendsgiving, but she's sure about having his baby. I don't think she care who baby it is. I think she
don't. She made that clear.
Yeah. So she don't
care
who's baby. So no, she didn't want to bring him to Thanksgiving, and she don't care whose baby it is. That's just the one.
Sounded like she preferred him not to be around. She was like, I got to tell him because it's his baby.
I think she did a part of her life. There's look, whatever reason that she didn't say, but implied why she didn't have the first baby, that she just gonna have this one and keep it moving.
Brittany said, "Good talk, y'all. Love y'all," and Molly does too. Molly don't love us. She don't even love me, so she don't love me. Oh, okay. Yeah, this was a good line, Crystal. When the doctor said, "Do you want to be right or do you want to be in a relationship?" I was like, "Oh."
I think I've said that to you a few times. I've said that to them a couple of times.
That's why we about to get off because ain't nobody about to talk about that right now.
No, because this is the thing. At my age, I'm old, much older.
Y'all can tune into the podcast for this conversation.
Okay, we do talk about this on the podcast. But I'm saying, I feel like between Molly, Issa, you know what? If they could fast forward 5 years, 10 years, they will react to every situation they in now differently. And that's the beauty of maturing, you know? So it's just for me a little stressful that I feel like they're not maturing at the rate that I feel like they should have in 5 years since I've been. I told you that I don't like that Issa is still so.
Yeah. I think that's on purpose, though. I really think that's on purpose.
I'm like, okay, I'm going to need Issa to calm down a little bit. And as a goofy person myself, I just need Issa to calm down a little bit.
Yeah. I think Condola felt some type of way when she asked Lawrence if he still had feelings for Issa. It seemed like she did at the time when she asked him. Because if she didn't care, she wouldn't have asked anyway.
Wait, she asked him that when? What was that, Thanksgiving?
At the Thanksgiving, the kitchen, in the kitchen. She did ask him. Okay,
but that's just such a not a good question to ask someone anyway. I mean, and if any person says, no, I don't have feelings for somebody, that's a lie. Yeah. It doesn't mean I want to be with them. It doesn't mean I'm going to try to be with them and you. But to say you don't have feelings, that's not true.
Mike, Chuck, go eat.
He on that Ethiopian restaurant. He want to get the tacos from that food truck.
Them tacos look good, though, didn't they? Anyway, all right, y'all. So we just dropped a new episode today. What's the title of the episode?
My Halle Berry Got to Be Crazy.
Yeah, we could have gone live about that one too with some men, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's today's episode. But if you have not listened to the actual podcast, we on season 2, so it's a lot to catch up on that. Oh no, girl, yes. Well, I guess we ain't got nothing to talk about till next season.
No, we'll find something else to go live about later. Y'all can let us know if something happens. Send it to our inbox and we'll talk about it.
We'll talk about it. I like just talking with y'all, and we talk about it, and we talk to y'all about it, except for Brittany part.
we got a breakthrough with Brittany today, so I'm excited about that.
You think we turned her? Then we turned her at the end?
No, I don't think she's totally turned, but we did get her to admit that Molly gives no one grace, period.
No one.
So how can she deserve it? Anyway, all right, guys. Have a great Tuesday evening, and we will see y'all next time. Bye.